Okay, please remain standing for invocation and the national anthem. Okay. Let us pray. Gracious and eternal God, our source of wisdom and truth, we gather in your presence with hearts full of gratitude. For generations, you've guided Emory Henry University to be a place where faith and reason meet, where minds are stretched and hearts are shaped for service to your world. We thank you for the generations who have built, taught, and dreamed among these hills, for founders and teachers, students and friends who built, learned, and served in hope. Today, we ask your blessing upon Dr. Louise Fincher, the 23rd president of this beloved university. Grant her wisdom for leadership, courage and decision, and compassion for all who call this home. Bless this community, trustees, faculty, staff, students, and alumni, that we may seek truth with humility, pursue excellence with integrity, and live out our calling to love you and our neighbor. By your Spirit, renew in us a vision of learning that leads to service and service that leads to joy, so that all we do may bring glory to your name and good to your world. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Please be seated. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Emory Henry Board of Trustees, welcome. Thank you for being here as we gather to celebrate the roots of this community of learning that we call Emory Henry University, but more importantly, to look ahead to the future. In looking forward, I would like to assert that Emory Henry is more than a community of learning. It is a learning community, a community in which we are intentional about collectively learning, growing, and continuously preparing for new times and places. Many of us here today have walked these hills and halls as students, and the Emory Henry learning community met us where we were at that time as we prepared for our own future times and places. To the students who are here today, many on the stage, this learning community similarly aims to meet you as you make your own journeys into the future. Learning is not a one-way process, however, and we also aim to learn from and with you in an ever more rapidly changing world. I recently heard a preacher paraphrase Hebrews 11 to suggest that hope is the dream for the future, but faith is investing in it. Students, you embody the future in which the learning community assembled here today, faculty, staff,
administration, board members, donors, regional neighbors, and colleagues, and not least President Fincher, is investing. In this context, I'm excited to announce a new investment for the future. An anonymous donor who is an Emory Henry alumnus and a retired physician has given a $500,000 gift to establish the Dr. A. Louise Fincher Health Sciences Scholarship Endowment. In creating this fund, the donor specifically chose to honor President Fincher because of her tireless efforts on behalf of the university, and especially for her work in establishing and sustaining the Emory Henry School of Health Sciences and its impact on this region. We are glad that each of you has joined us today as we celebrate our shared roots, as well as our hope and faith for the future and the opportunities that it will bring. Again, welcome.
I'm Celeste Guy, the chair of the Faculty Senate, and on behalf of our distinguished faculty, I bring greetings and congratulations to Dr. Lou Fincher, the 23rd president of our beloved Emory Henry. Also extend a warm welcome to President Fincher's family and friends, honored guests, and community members. At the beginning of the 2025-2026 academic year, President Fincher centered her opening remarks around a theme of hope. And on this historic day, we gather in the spirit of hope and optimism. President Fincher, I stand here today representing teachers and scholars who I am honored to call colleagues and who have dedicated their lives to the intellectual pursuit of truth with the shared promise of hope. Today, institutions of higher learning face challenges and external pressures that have made the work of higher education more vital than ever before. All of us in the academy must maintain this sacred space of creativity, the preservation of knowledge, the value of diverse perspectives, and the examined life. Emory Henry is not only a place of tradition, but a place of innovation. Part of our tradition is a solid foundation in the liberal arts, valuing a breadth of disciplines from the sciences to the humanities. These pursuits foster integrity within our human community, and they lead to better people who make the world a better place. To build an innovative and just future, we prepare students to respond to questions and challenges of our time with critical thought and care for human dignity. President Fincher, the faculty celebrates your commitment to the liberal arts and to exploring innovative ways to educate students for lives of service, productive careers, and global citizenship, as stated in our mission. We also appreciate your explicit commitment to our home region of Southwest Virginia while recognizing our obligation to educate students who will serve both local and global communities. In light of today's challenges and the importance of preserving integrity in higher education, now more than ever, Emory Henry needs a leader with vision who facilitates collective purpose and civil dialogue. President Fincher, we look to you for the promise of such leadership. Our faculty stand united with you and look forward to collaborating on Emory Henry's commitment to increase in excellence. Congratulations, President Fincher.
Good afternoon. I'm John Graham. You'll notice on the program is actually another John Graham on there. Up in Marion, I am the other John Graham. I'm with the School of Health Sciences and actually one of the original faculty members there at the School of Health Sciences. And I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of history of Lou's involvement in that program. I first met Lou Fincher during her interview process for the Dean of the School of Health Sciences. At that time, probably in the winter of 14, the school was only a set of plans on paper, and what would be the initial program, physical therapy, was still stumbling through the process of getting the initial approval to start by CAPTE, its national governing body. Lou came on board and got us through that process. She played an instrumental role in hiring the new chairman, Jean Arian, and the remaining faculty members for that first program. Once we got that initial program started, she played a key role in laying the framework for the ensuing programs which would create the School of Health Sciences. This involved recruiting and hiring chairs for the occupational therapy and then the physician assistant programs. During this phase, she was also intensely involved in the massive renovation of the former Smith County Hospital in Marion into what has become the Emory Henry School of Health Sciences. A building loaded with state-of-the-art facilities, including some very high-tech simulation labs. Ultimately, the clinical mental health program would be created, and the exercise science and nursing programs would be incorporated into the school. Under Lou's leadership, these programs have received accreditation, and the school has had hundreds of graduates who have been able to pass their boards and begin careers in the health sciences. One element of these programs is the interprofessional educational opportunities between them, which Lou and the program chairs help to foster and develop. In this regard, Emory Henry School of Health Sciences programs are unique in comparison to most in the country. One of the notable outcomes is the tremendous number of graduates who are now in professional practice in the region, which was a principal vision behind the creation of the school. Leaders in Smith County early on reached out to Emory and Henry about starting health sciences education in Marion with visions of increasing the number of health clinicians in the county and the region. Lou has been very successful at fostering and expanding those relationships between the university and Smith County to the great benefit of both. And we thank you and honor you, Lou.
Good evening. My name is Colin Core. I am a senior biology major here at Emory Henry University, and I have the pleasure of serving as the president of the Emory Henry student body for the 2025-2026 school year. As part of my job, I have worked very closely with Dr. Fincher this year, and I am thankful for her earnest guidance as I work to adjust to my position and do right by our student body. Some of the greatest qualities of leadership are an ability to listen to your advisors and being wise enough to know what you don't know. These are traits that I have seen displayed by our new 23rd president as she navigates her role. Our institution is 189 years old, and it is steeped in rich history and tradition. From our humble beginnings as a manual labor college, founded by the Holston Conference of the United Methodist Church, to our modern university status, we have always been united by our love of the blue and gold in our little corner of Southwest Virginia. I look forward, as many of you do, to seeing how President Fincher advances the modernization of Emory and Henry as we continue to invite students from all over our great nation and the world. I often pause and think about the awesome reality of the fact that I am lucky enough to serve as the leader of our students here at Emory and Henry. As our classmates begin their transition from high school into college and then on into adulthood, we struggle with questions of friendship, family, and our place in society. I am ever thankful for Emory and Henry's core curriculum, as it has helped me see the world in a new light and inspired me to get to know its people as best I can after I leave this place. Dr. Fincher, from myself and the Emory and Henry student body, we would like to welcome you to your new role and thank you for your leadership and inspiration.
Dr. Fincher, faculty, staff, students, trustees, and other guests, good afternoon, and hello to those viewing on the internet. Greetings to you all from the Alumni Council. Before I begin my prepared remarks, I'd have to say that on my way here, I was talking with my 13-year-old son. I'd shown him the program, and he said, "Oh, good, another woman in charge." So also congratulations and greetings from a young admirer. It is fitting that this transition be marked during this time in our collective cadence when nature has so much to teach us about leaning into change, about change as a vehicle to nurture the future, and about being both a good steward and a good ancestor. Dr. Fincher, congratulations, and welcome to this next chapter. I know you'll be a good ancestor and lead us through only the change which will benefit our beloved institution and her people. Elevate the opinions of those who stand to lose the most. Elevate voices of those who have given of their lives for this place and her mission. Spend time with the stories of those among our community who continue to increase our excellence. As an alumna, part of me wants desperately to return to the campus of my years here. And as an alumna, I celebrate our growth. We all know that a stagnant institution is a dying one, and we know that we are not a people well known for a love of change. As you hold this balance and lead us through the coming seasons, know that we will cheer for you and support you. But you should also know that we will probably give you some hell, as our dear and recently departed mentor and friend, Steve Fisher, taught us to do for causes and communities that we love. I recently stood in a wood where many of the trees have sheltered and nourished our farm longer than our family has been here. As the trees sang a song not unlike the crashing of waves, I found inspiration in their ability to sway while remaining grounded and firmly rooted. We have been handed challenges by history and by current circumstance. Now, our call to you, Madam President, is to stand tall and remain firmly rooted. Emory Henry is what we make it, what we pour into it, and how we allow it to transform our understanding of the world and our place in it. Continue to steward your place here well, as I know you will, and we will collectively increase in excellence. Congratulations.
It is certainly my pleasure, my honor to be here tonight for the inauguration of the 23rd president of Emory Henry. As Vice Mayor of Abingdon and a 1977 graduate of Emory Henry, I welcome Dr. Fincher to this campus and to our community. Emory Henry certainly has a very strong role in our community, and its academic position continues to move in an upward fashion. I am confident with the oversight of Dr. Fincher, this movement will continue. From her initial position as founding dean of the School of Health Sciences to her current position as president of this university, she has provided leadership and guidance necessary for the development of the university. From the residents of the town of Abingdon, I extend my heartfelt greetings to Dr. Fincher and wish her well in her new position. Thank you.
I am, in fact, the other John Graham. The John Graham who stays as far away as possible from the cadaver lab at the School of Health Sciences. Dr. Louise Fincher, distinguished guests and friends, I bring you greetings as a next-door neighbor from Smith County and from the town of Marion, which is the proud home of the School of Health Sciences. I have been honored to know Lou, I think, from the first day on the job for Dr. Fincher here at the School of Health Sciences. And as a graduate of the University of Tennessee College of Law, I have to admit to some initial skepticism when I saw Lou pull up with an Alabama sticker on her car. Roll Tide, did you hear that? But that concern was quickly overcome as Lou guided the process of accreditation, recruited top talent in faculty and students, built relationships with community partners that endure, and earned her title as the founding dean of the school. Lou is a visionary who values all voices, who leads by example, always with integrity, and who is not afraid to act boldly when necessary. In this day when there is much uncertainty in the world, indeed when academia faces what might be called seismic challenges, I have confidence about the future of this university. Lou was the right choice for the School of Health Sciences, and she is the right choice to lead this university now. No doubt she will guide Emory and Henry ever to increase in excellence and thrive.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is my distinct privilege to formally introduce Dr. A. Louise Fincher, known to all of her friends and colleagues as Lou, on the occasion of her inauguration as president of Emory Henry University. Following her service as interim president, Dr. Fincher was elected president by the Board of Trustees this past March. Dr. Fincher has the distinction of not only being the 23rd president of Emory Henry, but the first president of Emory Henry University. A native Texan and graduate of Stephen F. Austin University, Indiana State University, and the University of Alabama, Dr. Fincher brings more than 30 years of administrative and leadership experience to her role as president. Prior to Emory Henry, Dr. Fincher was chair of the Department of Kinesiology at the University of Texas at Arlington, founding program director for UT Arlington's accredited AT education program, and president and CEO of the Joe W. King Orthopedic Institute at the Texas Orthopedic Hospital in Houston, Texas. Dr. Fincher's impact on Emory Henry began in 2014 when she and her spouse, Renee Trudeau, moved to Southwest Virginia upon Dr. Fincher's selection as the founding dean of the Emory Henry School of Health Sciences. With a bold vision, Dr. Fincher turned the dream of renovating the former Smith County Community Hospital in Marion, Virginia, into a thriving reality, laying a foundation that has shaped the future of healthcare education at Emory Henry. With 4 graduate, including 2 doctoral programs, the School of Health Sciences is fulfilling its mission to prepare compassionate, patient-centered, and highly skilled healthcare professionals for the region and beyond. Subsequently given the additional title of Senior Vice President, Dr. Fincher served as a member of the university's senior leadership team and continued to provide oversight of the health sciences campus while also acting as the university's liaison to regional healthcare systems and partners. Notably, Dr. Fincher led the development of the Southwest Virginia Healthcare Academy, Excellence Academy Laboratory School, known as the Southwest Virginia Hills Program, a collaborative initiative offering high school students from Smith, Wythe, and Washington counties and the city of Bristol, Virginia, hands-on job training, job shadowing, and dual enrollment courses through partnerships with the University, Wytheville Community College, Virginia Highlands Community College, and local hospitals. Dr. Fincher's election as president of the university has received wide praise from the campus community and from regional leaders. I am incredibly pleased with the board's decision to name Dr. Fincher as president. As interim president, she has proven herself capable of strong leadership while maintaining the best interest of the institution's students and faculty, said Dr. Blake Justice, interim dean of the School of Health Sciences.
At this time, I ask both Lou and Ms. Renee Trudeau to come to the lectern so that Lou may take the oath of office and receive the university medallion. I draw your attention to the fact that the Bible we are using today is the personal Bible of Dr. E.E. Wiley, the second president of Emory Henry from 1852 to 1879. Lou Fincher, the Board of Trustees has selected you to serve as the 23rd president of Emory Henry University. The board has empowered you to lead this institution in a manner that is true to its values, faithful to its historic mission, and consistent with the university's United Methodist heritage. Do you accept this responsibility? The students, alumni, faculty, and staff of Emory Henry University look to you in trust for strength, guidance, and vision as the institution moves forward. Do you acknowledge this trust? I do. Emory Henry University upholds high standards of academic excellence and seeks to instill in all associated with the university respect for knowledge, discipline, and a commitment to seek the truth. Will you support and defend these standards? I will. Emory Henry University is an institution that values its relationship with the United Methodist Church, even as the university welcomes and respects persons with other faiths, views, and commitments. Emory Henry University encourages the expression of faith in service to others. Our hope is that students, as a result of their experiences here, will adopt this attitude for their whole lives. Will you promote and protect the university's commitments to these ideals? Emory Henry University is a community where the accomplishments of both individuals and groups are celebrated, a community that welcomes and values inclusivity. Will you lead the university in becoming a more inclusive community? As Lou Fincher has duly sworn to uphold the duties and responsibilities of the office of the president, I present her for confirmation as the 23rd president of Emory Henry University. Trustees does it take to get a medallion out of the out of its folder? Now, by virtue of the authority of the Emory Henry University Board of Trustees, I commit into your hands this distinguished institution. Receive now the Presidential Medallion, which includes the historic seal of the university, a symbol of the sacred responsibility which has been entrusted to you as president. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I formally congratulate you and welcome you as president of Emory Henry University. We pledge our support and we affirm our confidence in your vision for the future of Emory Henry University, a vision inspired by the rich legacy of this 189-year-old institution. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me again in welcoming President Lou Fincher.
To say that's a little overwhelming. I've told people all day I'm a little out of my comfort zone, but so grateful nonetheless. I want to be able to share words with you, my inaugural address, but first I have many people to thank. But even before that, let me just say that I am both humbled and honored by the trust and the faith the Board of Trustees has placed in me to lead Emory Henry as the 23rd president. To our Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, students, alumni, donors, community partners, delegates, friends, I am so profoundly grateful for your presence here today, especially at 5 o'clock on a Friday, and for your support and belief in me and in the future of Emory Henry University. I'm so grateful to the Inauguration Planning Committee. I know how much time and attention each of you spent in organizing this wonderful event. I also want to thank the Emory Henry Brass Ensemble, led by Dr. Matt Frederick, and for the beautiful voices of our concert choir, led by Dr. Shay Clay. Thank both groups for the wonderful music experience. In many ways, as I stand here, I recognize I stand on the shoulders of my predecessors, the former presidents that have come before me that have made significant impact to the institution and have certainly led Emory Henry with distinction. There are 3 presidents here and 2 that aren't, but I have 5 that I want to recognize and thank. Dr. Charlie Sidner was not able to attend today, but I want to recognize him and thank him for his leadership and his vision during his tenure as the 18th president of Emory Henry. And he is one of very few presidents who also have been an alumnus of the institution. Dr. Tom Morris, thank you for your leadership and for your wisdom in acquiring the 4 corners of land at Exit 26 that expanded the Emory Henry campus to be adjacent to I-81 and secured our campus's southern borders. Your obtainment of the $10 million Thompson gift still remains, I believe, I should have checked that, but I believe that still remains the largest single gift received by Emory Henry University. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say also we are so thankful for you being a president because we now have your daughter Rosa as a trustee-elect coming on the board. Dr. Roz Reichert, thank you for your bold vision in establishing the Marion campus and the School of Health Sciences. Your strategic vision laid the foundation for our future growth. Our growth in graduate education and in healthcare workforce development. You also championed international education and certainly enhanced our community engagement efforts here in the region. Jake Schrum, first and foremost, thank you for hiring me. Thank you for having faith in me to lead the Marion campus and to grow the School of Health Sciences, and for the opportunity you later provided me to serve on your executive council. Under your leadership, Emory Henry acquired the Virginia Intermont Equestrian Program, which is a signature program to this day, completed construction on this very building that we gather in this evening, created the Van Vlissingen Center for Career and Professional Development, and successfully completed an $80 million comprehensive fundraising campaign. And lastly, to John Wells, who wasn't able to join us today, thank you for your strength in leading us through the pandemic, for your wisdom in pivoting Emory Henry to a stronger focus on the workforce development while remaining true to our strength of the liberal arts, and for your courage in moving us to university status. To my sisters, Susie and Patty, who joined from Texas and Seattle virtually, brother-in-laws James, Jim, and John. Try saying that 3 times really fast. And the many nieces and nephews who are joining this ceremony virtually from all over the country, thank you for your unconditional love and support. To my parents, Corky and Joanne, and my oldest sister, Anne, who are no longer with us, but I know they were here in spirit. And I know that they are smiling with pride and joy. I want to thank my nephew, Mike Weaver, who traveled from Texas to be here today and was able to take a little bit of advantage of his time here and walked a little portion of the Appalachian Trail today. And lastly, I want to recognize and thank my wife, Renee. Without her love, support, and sacrifices, I would not be standing here today. When I have long days and hard decisions to make, she reminds me what truly matters. When I have great days, she's the first to cheer me on. And her belief in me has been unwavering even when I've doubted myself. So thank you to all for being here to share this special event. You know, as I stand here today, and I do so with a profound sense of calling, not to a position, but to a purpose. And when I reflect on how I arrived here today, and some of it has been spoken to already, I realize that I didn't come to Emory Henry by accident. I truly believe that this is where I was meant to be, and I think I knew this from the first time I visited this campus, which interestingly, my first visit to Southwest Virginia and to the Emory Henry campus was 12 years ago this week. In fact, 12 years ago yesterday. On November 6th, 2013, I traveled here to interview for the founding dean position, as been mentioned earlier, for the School of Health Sciences. And that off-campus interview was held in Kingsport. But I rented a car and I drove up to the Emory campus. And of course, being in November, it was peak fall foliage, a little bit like now, but more leaves on the trees. And my first thought was, wow, what a beautiful campus. And again, I think I knew at that moment I wanted to be here and I was meant to be here. That same day, I drove up to Marion to see the site for the planned School of Health Sciences. I mistakenly went to the new Smith County Community Hospital, and my first thought was, wow, this is a beautiful facility. I soon realized that I was at the wrong location, and I was directed to the site of what was then the abandoned former Smith County Hospital that had been gifted to Emory Henry by the then Mountain States Health Alliance, specifically for the purpose of us being able to create a health sciences campus there. My first thought upon arriving at that site was, wow, this place needs a lot of work. But I was excited about the possibilities. And fortunately for me, I was selected to advance in the search process and was invited to return to campus to interview that next month. I met with faculty members here on the Emory campus. You know, I felt such a sense of optimism and saw an institution that was at a pivotal point in their history, particularly moving to having a separate campus 20 miles north and having graduate, and not just graduate education, but healthcare graduate education. And Jake, I still remember my interview with you. You probably don't. When I was meeting with Jake, he said, and I don't know why I remember this, this position will probably be a big step for you since you've never been a dean before. And I don't react very quickly usually, but I remember reacting saying, well, actually, I think this is the natural next step for me in my career. And I remember the look on your face when I said that. But in truth, I do think this was the natural next step for me. You know, I had done the normal progression up through academics, had been a program director, a department chair. I'd been in a non-academic leadership experience, having the good fortune to serve as president and CEO of the Orthopedic Research and Education Institute in Texas Orthopedic Hospital in Houston. But when I look back, I think all of these positions really prepared me for where I am now. You know, and interestingly, when I look back to my role at the orthopedic hospital, and part of my job was to keep 22 orthopedic surgeons happy all at the same time. And I now have come to know that that really was very good training for now how I try to keep 30-plus trustees happy, along with 100-something faculty happy all at the same time. But I do believe coming to Emory Henry to establish the School of Health Sciences was the perfect and natural step. Particularly in a moment of reinventing itself, Emory Henry was moving upward. It was a really pivotal point, and I really was looking forward to being a part of that growth. Also, when I reflect back to my last 12 years here, I believe that when asked to take on the interim president position, which my first response had been, you have the wrong person. But when I look back, I see that it was a natural step for me. And so I have valued that journey and am very honored to be here now as the 23rd president of Emory Henry University. You know, for almost 200 years, Emory Henry has remained steadfast in its mission to educate students to think critically, act compassionately, and lead with integrity. And that spirit is embodied in every faculty member who challenges their students, every staff member who keeps this campus running, every alumnus who carries the E&H story into their communities, and every student who dares to dream beyond what seems possible. And I believe Emory Henry now is once again at a pivotal moment in our history. You know, across the country, colleges and universities are confronting declining enrollments, financial headwinds, growing skepticism about the value of higher education. Technology, especially artificial intelligence, is reshaping how we teach and learn. Communities are polarized, trust in institutions is fragile, and the pace of change can sometimes feel really relentless. But despite these challenges, again, I think this is a moment of profound possibility. And I look forward to leading the institution forward at this moment in time. And I think we must move forward decisively. We must be willing to take action. We must become comfortable making decisions quickly rather than waiting for the perfect plan that provides 100% certainty. This doesn't mean that we will make reckless decisions. However, we don't have in this current climate the luxury of time to wait for perfect data. As the ground continues to shift below our feet, we have to always adjust. And it will require that we do some course correction and potentially change of direction. But these course corrections, when needed, are not indications of failure or poor decisions, but rather our ability to continuously navigate this time of uncertainty as we push Emory Henry forward boldly and decisively. We must rethink our traditional assumptions about teaching, learning, student recruitment, student success, finances, alumni engagement, and our overall institutional structures and operations. We must be willing to reinvent or even reimagine Emory Henry University, but while also staying connected with our history, our traditions that are so important to our alumni, and our deep commitment to the liberal arts. Our task, all of our tasks, is to ensure that Emory Henry continues to be the place that transforms the lives of our students. Working together, we will ensure that Emory Henry remains strong for generations to come, well into our 200th anniversary in 2036 and beyond. This will require responsible stewardship, creative partnerships, and new sources of philanthropy and entrepreneurial revenue. Together, we will ensure that Emory Henry not only endures, but that we lead as a model of how small universities can adapt, serve, and flourish with integrity and grace. When we began our fall semester, what seems like forever ago, back in August, I introduced a theme for the year of the power of hope. You know, and I think there comes a moment when we all have to be able to believe in something that maybe we cannot yet see. To trust that the work that we do today, even when it's hard, even when it's uncertain, is building something better for tomorrow. And that belief is hope. We welcome new students not because we know exactly where their paths will lead, but because we believe in their potential to grow, to lead, and to shape a future we can only begin to imagine. And in a world right now that often feels divided, hope reminds us that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, that we are building something much larger, a community, a future, and a continued legacy. So this year I invite all of us, faculty, staff, administration, trustees, to lead with hope. In our classrooms, our residence and dining halls, our meetings, our emails, our mentoring conversations, let us be a community that leads with purpose, grace, and determination to make Emory and Henry a better place for everyone who walks through our doors. I remain honored and grateful for the trust, again, that the Board of Trustees has placed in me to lead Emory Henry University during this moment in the life of the institution. And I ask all of you to join me on this journey of making Emory and Henry a better place for our students. Thank you, and may God bless Emory and Henry University.
With the opening of a new chapter in the university's history, let us remember the values and traditions that have provided the foundation for Emory and Henry's success thus far. Let us embrace the hope for the future and wisdom that Dr. Fincher will bring, as well as her leadership ability to allow the university to continue to increase in excellence. As we go forth from this place, let us come together to enjoy each other's company and celebrate this new and exciting time for Emory and Henry.